Hello World, The Power of Journaling by Hello World. But anyways, if you don't have to, but there could be someone that's trying to step into an abundance mindset, okay? Or you're like thinking about how do I raise my vibration? Everybody's talking about raising their vibration. How do I get to a different frequency? I only can do this based off experience. And my experience in journaling was a complete butterfly effect. It was like that small thing that I was doing, getting up 5:30, writing in my journal every day. I did not know that it catapulted my journey. It fueled my journey in a way that I just became so disciplined, consistent, persistent, focused, and it raised my vibration. But at the beginning, I did not know this. Matter of fact, when it came to knowing something, I didn't know too much of nothing. I was just so wanting to change. I was so into this world that I was living. There's got to be more to it. I was like confused. I was like, man, how do I get there? And journaling was a big catalyst to that. Now, of course, I'm writing in my journal, and I'm starting off just being thankful and grateful for everything. And that list, I remember, so I bought a spiral and I started writing, and the first couple of days, I guess, it was just like half a page. Okay. Because as much as I thought I was thankful and grateful for everything, I come to find out from writing about how thankful and grateful I was that it was a lot more that I could be thankful and grateful for. Okay, it started off like I would write, I am so thankful and grateful for waking up this morning. I am so thankful and grateful for the job. I'm so thankful and grateful for the car I drive. I'm so thankful and grateful for having a home. But and then a little bit after that, I would get stuck. I was like, dang, that's it? That's all you thankful and grateful for? And then I kept doing it. Now, let's talk about the repetition of it. I made a video on like if repetition did it, then repetition is going to fix it. So I set my alarm every day, 5:30. First thing I do, get up and write in that journal. Now, that half a page end up going to 3/4 of a page, end up going to a full page, end up going to 2 pages. And I was like, dang, it is so much to be thankful and grateful for. It had got to the point I was thankful and grateful for the air I was breathing, the positive people in my life, the sun, the moon, the stars, the universe. I was just thankful for the clothes on my back, shoes on my feet. I was just anything that I felt maybe I took for granted, I just became thankful and grateful for. So this goes on. This repetition, getting up 5:30, consistently doing this every day. You talking about doing the work? 2 years ago, I'm deeply engaged with this, and I would not let up. And in the process of using repetition to change my state of being and to raise my vibration, and also setting the tone for the rest of the day. I didn't know this stuff was happening. And the discipline to do that. I was just consistent, persistent, disciplined, focused, and it raised my vibration, and it sort of set the tone for the rest of my day every day. So the power of journaling, scripting, and then later, as I continued to journal, I started journaling like, I'm thankful and grateful, such and such and such and such and such. Then I start being thankful and grateful for something that I wasn't experiencing, but I wanted to experience, manifest. I was already thankful and grateful for certain things, and those things start to come about in my life. It was like I was assuming that I already had it, and I was expressing gratitude for it, and it wasn't even here, but things like that start showing up. It's like I was projecting something from the future now and was assuming that I had it now, and I'm thankful for it already. But mind you me, at this point, I knew, but I didn't know how it was working. And the journaling. And so I would say, for somebody that might want to start scripting and journaling and stuff, if you can get a notebook, spiral, and set it on the kitchen table, the kitchen counter, like when you get up in the morning, and maybe set your alarm for maybe 10 minutes earlier. Get up, take time out, and write 5 things that you're grateful for. It's going to have a butterfly effect. I mean, it is so moving. It immediately raises your vibration to a different frequency, because you're feeling thankful and grateful for everything that you had, and then it changes. It don't change it. It expresses throughout the day when you're feeling like that, you might go out the way to hold the door. You might say, instead of, thank you, man, you will put emphasis and expression behind it. Somebody does something for you, like, man, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And you, what's coming on the outside is a reflection of what's going on in the inside. You see? So it everything is you pushed out, and it start expressing, and it starts touching other people because you're in that state of being, of this attitude of gratitude. And from there, it's just things expanded. Like, the more you start getting on this frequency and the more you start focusing, everything else expands. You start being open up to receive a lot more information on the things that you're studying or trying to understand. It totally hit different. It was like, when I started journaling, and once I got it to a habit and it became normal for me, that was, I think, like, you have a lot of different keys for different things. That was my first key. I was like, man, I got the key to I got the key to raising my vibration. I got the key to setting the tone for my day. It was a good feeling. And I took the journaling even a step further, writing about things in my life, really getting in detail with my desires. I was writing all over the place. It was something that I wasn't accustomed to doing. So the power of journaling is, if you can get into it, is really profound, and it's gonna do a lot more things for you than you are aware of, in a way. Also, with the journaling, I just continued doing it, and like 2 years later, I don't do it as much because I've like embodied that attitude of gratitude. It's really in me. It's something that can't be taken away. I'm just automatically like that and feel like that. I really have that attitude of gratitude, And so, So this journaling, man, it might not be the way for everybody, and I get it, but maybe it might be a point to where you're like, I don't know how to get into this mode. I don't know how to get to this raising my vibration. I don't understand it. But if you can just journal a little bit every day, it's really going to have that effect to where it changes a lot in your life. That repetition, that consistency, that focus, that discipline. Think about it. You're going to need these tools to manifest. You're going to need that consistency to think about your desires consistently for a while, to get it to the subconscious mind. You're going to need that persistence, that skill to be persistent, consistent, and it's going to give you that discipline to stay focused on something that is that is not so easy to do. I've done a video about that. It ain't easy to focus on one thing repeatedly, till it is in your subconscious mind. That repetition, that discipline, that focus, that consistency, and that setting the tone for the rest of your day. It's like, how can I say it? It's like basketball. Like, you'll be practicing going through your legs, passing the ball, and you'll be wondering like, Coach, I want to shoot the ball. But he's like, nope, do this. We're going to work on dribble and handles first. So we got that down. And it's going to show up later in the game. You might run, in basketball, they might have you running back and forth, doing them suicides. Why? Because it's going to show up later. You're going to build this what I want to say, this power. You want to build this stamina to keep going and keep going. So once you start journaling, it's gonna develop the skills that you need to do the work in the game, per se. You know what I'm saying? And when you start to manifesting your desires, you're gonna have the discipline. You're gonna have the focus. You're gonna have the consistency and the persistence to get it done. But it all started from you just merely, man, I just woke up every day writing in my journal, not knowing that you was disciplined to do that, for one. You was persistent, for two. You was consistent, for three. You was focused, for four. And you was raising your vibration, for five. And you was consistently doing this. And then you get over here, you're like, man, I'm ready to play the game. I got some tools now, you know? I'm ready to start. And it raises your attractive factor. See, that's number 6. So when you're setting the tone and in a good vibration, your attractive factor is elevated. So, yeah, all these things start happening from just doing that one thing. I could hold a thought for a long time. If I want to manifest one thing, I can I have the tools and the discipline to do it and to make it come in my reality. When maybe at the beginning it was hard for me to focus on one thing. You know, it was hard for me to be consistent with something. Now it's just normal. The minute I say I want to manifest or bring something into my reality, I've developed the tools to do it. All from journaling. The power of journaling. And I've said before, like, you don't have to do it for years or nothing like I did. I just liked it. I just kept going, and you know. But if you can consistently do it for a minute and however long you want to, but at least 21 plus days, I would want to say, you start creating these neural pathways in your brain to where that practice becomes a habit. And later on, you're going to be like, I didn't journal today, but I already embodied this attitude of gratitude, so it's not a big deal. The whole purpose is to impress your mind with this attitude of gratitude by writing in the journal. And once it's impressed, you could be like, I already feel that way. I move that way. I'm just in a state of attitude of gratitude all day. So it's not necessarily needed to continually write in there. I just kind of made it a habit and kept going and kept going. I don't think that I knew about how long it would take to impress my subconscious mind at that time. This is at the beginning stages, I just knew that, or my intuition, my gut was like, this is good. Just keep doing it. Just keep focusing, keep being consistent. And with that, I was learning a lot of different things and just kept on. It's like from doing that, I became really addicted to learning. And another thing, as the beginning of the journey, this was kind of strange. It was like I did an inventory, and I was like, everything that I thought I knew, whether it was right or wrong, whatever, I just kind of fixated in my mind to drop it. Like, I just wanted to start over on my journey in life with installing, like a computer, like install software. I wanted to install my own software. I wanted to program my own mind to these things that I believed in, that was backed by science. And I wanted to create my own life, not with programs that I was taught, not with nothing that I was influenced by. I just really wanted to drop everything that I thought I knew and start over. That was a big level up too, because at that point I was like, I don't know nothing. Everything that I thought I knew ended up being wrong. Everything in this world seems to be kind of in reverse and backwards. And I was like, wait a minute. And if that's the case, then I need to start over. But I'm saying that to say this, it all came with the power of journaling. That I was gone. And what was crazy is that I'm sorry, my eyelashes be crazy. I was like, I'm gone, but I didn't know it. I really didn't know how far this took me, how much confidence was being gained by doing this, how much of these other things was happening. It was a big butterfly effect, I tell you. You know the butterfly effect, y'all. Doing something small, having a big effect later, that type thing. And if somebody was to ask me, and through my experience, I would tell them to start journaling. Just buy a spiral notebook, and all my journals, I mean, it's quite a bit, but I will always write the day, the time, the month, the year, and I will start them off. I am so thankful and grateful for da, 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 da. And then later I was like, bro, you sort of making a scroll, like an ancient scroll, because when I would look back at the journals, I would see what I manifested. I would see how much I grew. It was like a documentary of my new life. And I was thankful for that too, you know. I was thankful for the fact that I could look back at where I started and where I'm at today, you know, in my growth in this spiritual journey, you know. So yes, the power of journaling by Hello World. But yeah, it really does have profound effects and things like that. So if you are maybe struggling, or maybe it's challenging to get on a different frequency, or to get into that vibratory state of feeling good, and you know, also being thankful and grateful, it it changed your frequency for a lot of other things. People were saying, man, why are you so happy all the time? I was like, at that point, I was like, I didn't know. I was just like, I'm choosing to be. But it all started from the beginning of my day. What they wasn't realizing is that I set the tone for the beginning of my day, and it expressed on the outside. And it really had a big effect. Just journaling. It changed my vibration. It made me appreciate everything in life, all the way from the trees, the dirt that grow the trees, that produces fruit and vegetables, and it just went on into where I just was appreciative of everything in this world, in my life. So, yes. So if you ask me, how do I shift into a different reality? I would tell you to start journaling, and we can go on from there. There's a lot more to it, but if we can start there and raise your vibration and get you into this feel good emotion and this attitude of gratitude about life, and being optimistic was another thing that came, because when I'm thankful and grateful, I don't have no reason to be pessimistic about nothing. I was optimistic early in this journey about life, and things is going to work out for me and all this stuff like that. So, yes. But I am so thankful and grateful. I'm happy as I look back at the work I done to get to these like different levels in this game of life. Like oh man, once y'all hear the story of the life and where I came from and the challenges and all this stuff, and it's gonna hit different. And so I am truly thankful and grateful for the mission and where I'm at today. But I have to give credit where credit is due, and it came from them spirals over here, journaling. You know what I'm saying? It really changed a lot of habits, and it gave me power to change other things. So yeah, the power of journaling. Hello, world.